Hi. Let me put this here. And yes, I am on. I don't know where this where the last video ended. This is part two. Um, I have been with Ruth Bader Ginsberg, uh, Dr. Martin Luther King, Eleanor Roosevelt, and L. He is from another planet, and I don't know which one, but he told me that he shortened his name for me and just said to call him L, and that's what I've been doing. Um, I'm going to fix this a little bit if I can, um, and see about, I don't know, well, either my son or my granddaughter will help me to get the end of the last one uh, better than it was, because I just sort of cut it off. Tuesday was barking. Tuesday is our dog, and um, what she really wanted was to go into the studio where I feed the cats so that she could eat their food. Um, she's a dog, so I understand. Um, she's a good girl. She's a German Shepherd mix. She's mostly German Shepherd and maybe a little Catahoula. She comes originally from Georgia. And in Louisiana, the Catahoulas are the state dog. They're fierce. She's not really fierce. But she tells the cats what to do, and she tells me what to do too, because she wants. Usually, she gets hungry when it's time for dinner. So for her dinner, and mine, and she lets me know when she wants to go outside. I built a garden. I really did. There were some trees back there, but otherwise I built it from scratch. So I'm proud of it. Yeah. Okay. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg, are you here? Great. Thank you. Um, Dr. Martin Luther King, are you here? Yes. Eleanor Roosevelt, are you here? Yes. Elle, are you here? Yes. When I first met him, I could hear his words. Now I can't. Makes it so much easier when I can hear their words, but you get what you get. Um, so they answered, I think they answered two questions. And I thought, well, part two, I can ask them some more questions and see what they say because it was so lively. Um, I wanted to ask your feelings or your not feelings, your opinions about Joe Biden. If you have, if you could tell him, if you could talk to him now, what would you say? Ruth, she just said, I can't believe you said that. So I tell him to go to hell. Why? He's not doing enough. He's really not doing enough. He's letting the country go to hell. I know that she likes him. I think so. Do you like him as a person? Yes. I didn't like what he did to wait a minute, she's not saying her name. The young attorney who was sexually not molested, but um, what's his name? The Supreme Court justice who was being sexually really obnoxious to this woman, and it was God, say it again.
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas. My husband just spoke up. He just told me, which is great. Thank you. You'd better stay there because my memory is not good, but his is actually better. So Clarence Thomas, yes, and Anita. What was Anita? You watching the TV? Anita Hill. Yeah. Um, Ruth Ruth Bader Ginsburg has the memory of an elephant. Wow. I remember that too. I remember watching it on television. He kind of stepped all over Anita Hill, and God knows why he wanted. Yeah, he wanted to approve. Um, what's his name? Tell me again. What was his name? Clarence Thomas. He wanted to approve a black jurist for the post, and I suspect he had no idea that Clarence Thomas was so so far to the right. I mean, he had benefited by a lot of the not gifts, what do you call them? Changes that made things available to people who qualified. You know, both especially for um, there were what do you call it? Affirmative action programs that Clarence Thomas availed himself of. And that would be fine, except that he doesn't want anybody else to do that. It's pretty ugly. But I can imagine that Joe Biden, because he is a good guy, thought that Clarence Thomas would be better than he is, would not be a pig. You know, I mean, he took advantage of everything. And he still took all that, those trips and um, money. I don't know. Oh, the guy that millionaire paid off Clarence Thomas's mother's house, and God knows what else. I forget what else. Just I know about the trips. Anyway, okay. So, uh, Dr. King, what would you want? What would you say to Joe Biden? Get it together, man. He's saying, get it together, man. Come on. Stop being such a good guy and get down to business. This is not fun. This is for people's lives. You're playing with people's lives and you're allowing Trump and his he's calling it Goonies to win. They're actually making changes, they're doing things. You're allowing it to happen. I mean, who that judge who just said that what do you call it? They're not babies. They're not even fetuses. They're um, eggs. Their eggs are children. So I hope people do take them off their taxes. If they're children, yeah. Except I think that it'll stop there, and it won't. It I don't think it's going to stay, but it is. That guy was one of Trump's people, and what's his the guy who's the head of the Senate? McConnell. Yeah, McConnell. Um, McConnell says he's going in November. It's really McConnell has everything to do with these horrible judges. I mean, he's a smart guy. He could have used his head just to go through them, not to sick these kind of people who are whack jobs into the judiciary. And we have that Aileen Cannon. Well, she was appointed by Trump, and whoop, never. I mean, I don't think she had very much experience as a lawyer, let alone a judge. Anyway, what do I know? Okay. Um, what do you think should be done about the grand old party now? Dr. King said throw them out. They are, a lot of them, or some of them are going to go to jail. or they're going to be indicted at least, and hopefully they will go to jail. I know you can be in Congress if you are indicted, not if you're convicted. I know because I lived in Pennsylvania most of my life, and from Philly, oh, a lot of politicians. It's so common. They go to in Philly. If you don't go to jail and you're a politician, it's like, why not? What happened? That in Camden. Okay, so what do you think, Ms. Ginsburg? What should be done with the GOP? She says it's going to end. It's going down the drain now, even though it doesn't look like it's they're getting done. What do you think, Ms. Roosevelt? What's with the Ms? Did you miss it? Instead of calling women Mrs. or Miss, people have been saying Ms, which is just for women, regardless of their marital status. And people can choose to be called uh, she or they if the person doesn't want any sexual identification. What? That's Tuesday telling me something. I am not letting you in there. I know that's what you want. You're not going in there. She wants to go in and eat the cat food because they leave some. She wants to be allowed in there. No. See how long that takes her. That should keep her for about 10 minutes. Okay. Trump has been charged with 91 counts of crimes. Any comment on that? Ms. Roosevelt? She's saying she can't believe it takes so long from the time that the crimes were committed to actually get him in front of a judge. And it's I don't know if it's different today, but people with a lot of money found good loopholes, places to put their money, and and also they use well he definitely uses his ability to put things off. And Aileen Cannon, the judge in Florida, is helping him with that, with just that particular, and that's a big one because he kept all kinds of what do you call them, forms, classified documents in boxes in his resort in Florida, and he had so many that he had them in the bathroom, in the bathtub, in front of the bathtub, along the wall in the bathroom, near the toilet. Yeah, always nice because you can. He had them in a storeroom that was open to the public, and the bathroom was too. Where else did he have them? Well, they think that he's taken them to other places that he owns. So we'll see. We'll see if they're found. A good number were classified, and it is said, alleged, that he sold some secrets to other unfriendly nations. It's not proven. It's alleged. That's it. And I don't know. And this is for entertainment purposes only. I should have said that in the other one too. It's for entertainment purposes only. Okay. So I said, do either of you do you have any comment that you want to say? Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She says, I am waiting to see what happens in the court cases. She expects him to be found guilty. She expects he might get away with some things. No. Mm-mm. She's not. She says we'll see, but she said I don't know. I'm. She's worried. She's worried about the state of the nation, and she wants to see what he does. Biden does with the Supreme Court. She thinks that she's hoping that he will have the opportunity. There's a lot going on with because of Israel and Hamas, and a lot of young people are siding with Hamas, not not really paying attention to what's going on, seeing Hamas as the underdog, and that's my husband. Um, uh, Seeing and thinking Hamas are the people of color. They're exactly the same color as Israelis, and there are also lots of Jews from Ethiopia and Africa. That when the Jews dispersed, a lot of them went um, to Africa. So I don't know what'll happen with that, but that was centuries ago. I mean, about 2,000 years ago. Um, okay. Anything, um, Eleanor Roosevelt? Anything that you wanted to say about either Trump or the GOP? She says they were always reactionary. They were always a problem. They didn't work with Franklin. They gave him a very hard time. They made they she thinks that they caused a lot of his his illness. They were always once they came here, she says they saw themselves as Native Americans, not real Native Americans. They saw themselves as Americans, but they didn't want anyone else to come. Like, in other words, suddenly they weren't Irish Americans anymore. They were Americans, and no one else qualified to be Americans if they didn't like the people. So each group had a very hard time coming over, and now they don't want people from Central and South America because they weren't here before. I don't know. I mean, uh, it's pretty crazy, but she's right. I mean, she's absolutely right. Okay, I've got another question. Trumpsters. Trumpsters are approximately 33% of the American population. Um, they there is a group of them who believe in some kind of Q thing. I don't know what that is. I don't really understand it. But they went that group that are those are the people who went to Virginia expecting um, John Kennedy's son to come alive again, and I don't know, take over. I think some of them still believe that Trump is still president and Joe Biden is just standing there, but Trump is actually running things. Um, what do you think of? How do you feel about, or what do you think of the Trumpsters? Um, Dr. King, he says they're crazy. They're really crazy. They're not thinking. They are not thinking at all. They even if they are intelligent, they're not reading. They're not looking for truth. They don't care. They're looking for what will excuse Trump. They're seeing him as God or something. They're seeing him as something like someone sent by God, and they are making they're they're not willing to listen. They listen to him, and so they think the regular news is wrong, and they just I mean he literally tells them lies, and they can see that it's not true, but they don't want to be bothered to look for the truth. True. Elle, do you have anything to say about that? He says it makes him sick. Um, he sees Elle, the person from the other planet, says he sees us as having gone backward, and it really upsets him and other people from other planets because they had hoped we had gone beyond this stuff, and they see us falling back. This business about the eggs being children, no, and no abortion, and all the laws about don't give anybody water when they're in line to vote, and making laws to make it harder for people of color and Native Americans to vote. He says it's there's so much, and he's just overwhelmed. He you know he says he tries to think in the long term, and that helps. But he definitely feels sad to see us. And one of the Trump's ideas is to ignore the Earth warming, and they are trying. A lot of aliens are trying to help us with the Earth without being seen. They can't be seen because I know that we would shoot them. And that's what humans are. We're carrying tons of guns, and so I mean, and people are, we are either afraid or we send love. So I see a lot of fear, lots and lots of fear and anger because we're afraid. Um, okay. Um, oh, you had started talking about Hamas at one point, and that might have been when Tuesday came over and distracted me. Um, uh, Eleanor Roosevelt, do you have anything to say about that? She says she sees a lot of anti-Semitism, that it hasn't gone away, even though people are supposedly more aware of things. Woke, she says, woke as smoke. She says it's just not. People are they want their whipping boys, and they it's she says it's very sad because they're I mean it's not she doesn't like Netanyahu. She thinks that she doesn't like him, but she says Hamas are barbarians. She says they are what is she calling them? They're not militants. They are um, let me see. Well, she says what is the other name for Hamas? They're not they're terrorists. That's what she's saying.
Hezbollah.
Hezbollah, Hamas, they're terrorists. That's what she's saying. And the kids, the young people are not don't want to recognize that that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're they have groups in Africa. Remember, she's Ruth Bader Ginsberg is now saying, remember when they kidnapped all those girls from the school? They have never all come back. Some of them were killed, some of them were married off, and they're just simply not allowed to come back by whoever they were married to. She says they are terrorists. They are no different.
And the other ones.
Right. They're no different from the people who blew up the Twin Towers. She says if the young people suddenly want to act as though they're the good ones, she said no, they're not. They're anything but. She said you.
How about the ones in the Red Sea? They're firing.
Oh yeah, yeah. What about the ones in the Red Sea attacking shipping?
Cargo.
Yeah, cargo ships. Same thing, she says. Same thing. Dr. King is saying, don't go by the color of their skin. Well, they're the color of Hamas. They're exactly the same color as the Israelis. Well, except for they're black Israelis too. I don't think there are any black. There, there are no black Palestinians. He says that we should be protecting, or the women and children should be protected. Yeah, they're all saying yes, they should be protected. Um, the people who, what do you think about the people who overran the the truck? They were all men. Yeah, they were all men, and they scared the Israeli forces on the on the um, truck. Um, Eleanor Roosevelt is saying, oh, wait a minute, Elle is saying too. He says that he would tell them where where the terrorists are hiding out. He said that the head of Hamas has the hostages around him, and he says, remember, there are hostages. There, there's yes. Um, it's a touchy situation. It's horrible. I'm saying it's horrible. Um, okay, that was the last question on that page. Um, do you feel that it is that that all the terrorists, well, are we in danger? Yes, they feel like we're in danger. Eleanor Roosevelt definitely. She says that she feels that you don't know what they would do, and there are many different groups with different. Most of their aims are to get rid of the republic.
What about Russia?
I think they already talked about Russia and Putin. I'm not sure. Did did we talk about Putin? I think Dr. King just said we're all waiting for him to die. We want to let him talk to the angels about his life and all the people he killed, who fell out windows and poisoned themselves. I don't think they know. They're not telling me when he's going to die. Will Putin die soon? I'm seeing October, but I don't know if that's true. Somebody showed me October. I would. It would be good for the world if he would die. Um, yeah, they're afraid. We have a big terrorist network, and their goal is to end Western Western uh, living, the kind of life that we have in the West and Europe. Um, most most places that are free, partly free. They want to make it like the Middle Ages. They want to make it like it is in Iran and in parts, in a lot of places where there's no people, women are kept down. Afghanistan, that's what they want. And they want to be able to kill the people they don't like Trump, given the opportunity, would get rid of a lot of people. Okay, I think really um, we're done. I think that's it. Thank you very much for listening. If you listened to the end, thank you. This has been Messages from Heaven by Jaynee on YouTube. And if you are interested in talking with me or having a reading, they're cheap. They're only 45 bucks for an hour. And if you want a reading, contact me at spiritsbyjaney at gmail.com. Um, I have done a lot of readings, and people are very enthusiastic. They really do like them. I do a really good job. So that is spiritsbyjaney at uh, gmail.com. And yeah, I'm a forgetful old lady. It's, it's true. And I'm glad I had my helper at the other end of the table. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend and enjoy. Tomorrow we're going to go see our two of our granddaughters, and that's great. Good night.